Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are cracking open Richard Templar's classic, The Rules of Money. We're going to distill over 100 of his most powerful rules into a super fast 5-minute guide on how to think, act, and, ultimately become wealthy. So let's just dive right in with a question that Templar puts right at the heart of his book. Are most people, are they just too lazy to get rich? It's a pretty tough pill to swallow, but he asks it to make you really think about what's actually holding you back. And right off the bat, the book's very first rule makes this incredibly bold claim. Money doesn't discriminate. Seriously, it couldn't care less about your background or your education or who your parents are. Wealth, he says, is out there for anyone who is willing to truly apply themselves. Okay, so before you can act wealthy, you have to think wealthy. This is the foundation for the entire journey. It's all about completely changing your relationship with money and understanding what it really is. And here is the first huge mindset shift you gotta make. Money isn't some reward handed out by a cosmic committee that decides who's good enough for it. Nope. Wealth is a direct consequence of your actions. Think of it as a payment for clever thinking and for hard work. It's pretty simple. The harder and smarter you work, the more you're going to earn. Next up, we have to talk about the invisible scripts that might be running your financial life without you even knowing it. We all pick up these beliefs about money from family and society, and Templar's point is that a lot of them are actively sabotaging you. Do any of these sound familiar? I bet they do. According to Templar, these are the subconscious myths that keep people stuck. They create this internal battle, right? On one hand, you want to build wealth, but deep down, there's this little voice saying it's wrong or that you just don't deserve it. So what's the solution? Well, it's simple, but that doesn't mean it's easy. The very first step on the path to getting wealthy is to consciously identify these myths, call them out for the nonsense they are, and just get rid of them. You've got to create a blank slate and write a new belief on it. Wanting money is okay. All right, so once you've cleared out all that mental clutter, it is time to take action. So let's look at some of the most practical, absolutely non-negotiable rules for actually building your wealth. This is it, the golden rule, the bedrock of, everything. You simply cannot build wealth without a surplus. It's not about being cheap or denying yourself every little joy. It's about being in control and creating a gap, any gap, between what you earn and what you spend. That gap, that's the seed for everything that comes next. And from that little seed, Rule 10 introduces what some have called the eighth wonder of the world, compound interest. Templar calls it your personal money farm, where your cash just quietly breeds like rabbits. The whole trick is just setting that money aside and letting it do its thing. Templar also makes this super critical distinction in Rule 36. Look, a salary can make you comfortable, for sure, but it always has a ceiling because you're trading your time for money. Real, serious wealth, that comes from making deals, from creating value by buying and selling. That path has unlimited potential. And if you're sitting there thinking, but I have nothing to start a deal with, think again. Look at the incredible story of Kyle McDonald. He started with one red paperclip on his desk, and through 14 trades over a single year, he ended up with a 2-story farmhouse. It just goes to show, you can start with almost nothing. So, getting wealthy is one challenge, but staying wealthy, and maybe more importantly, staying happy, that requires a whole different set of rules. It takes a much deeper kind of wisdom. This one is so simple, but it's incredibly powerful. Flaunting your wealth doesn't get you respect, it just breeds envy and criticism. The truly wealthy, they practice discretion. Why? Because they know the goal is financial freedom, not getting likes from strangers. They just let their success speak for itself, quietly. And this might be the most important rule in the entire book. Money can buy away a lot of unhappiness. It can fix a leaky roof, it can pay for a doctor, but it cannot buy happiness. That feeling was always inside of you to begin with. Expecting wealth to magically make you happy is just a recipe for disappointment. Okay, so we've covered the mindset, we've busted the myths, we've gone over the practical rules and the wisdom to stay grounded. But you know what? None of it means a thing without this final, crucial part. And that brings us to the ultimate rule. You can read 100 books on money, you can listen to 1,000 podcasts, but knowledge is totally useless without action. Templar's final message is a call to action. Bridge that huge gap between knowing what to do and actually doing it. Just take one idea from this and apply it. So I'll leave you with this question. What is the one small, concrete step you can take
right now, today, before your head hits the pillow tonight, to start applying